Hi guys, how's it going? My name's Gav and welcome to the Hydrofoil Academy. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. No reviews, no product reviews, no how-to videos. This is going to be a journey. This is a journey of my downwind learning process. So from the moment of picking up the paddle all the way through to hopefully completing a downwind run, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes as the video progresses. So yeah, this is taking it from somebody that's never picked up a paddle in their entire life, and we're going to just follow the process through. There's a bit of a growing trend at the moment, and really the whole point of this is I wanted to see if it was possible. You see a lot of pros online picking up paddles and going off and paddling up straight away in flat water. I wanted to see what the fuss was all about, so I bought the gear, and this is going to be an interesting journey, so I hope you enjoy it. Like with always guys, please subscribe to the channel, really helps. Link to it is below, and yeah, let's get started. Phew. All right, so before we do get into the meat of it, I want to give you a little bit of a background about me, so that it's relatable. So I've had a lifetime in the ocean, sailing, surfing, windsurfing, kiting, and obviously foiling as well. So yeah, I've done a lot of wind related sports, but I've never picked up a paddle in my entire life. I've never actually supped. That's the sort of the level that I am at. In terms of foiling, look, I'm a pretty good wing foiler. Like I'm pretty capable in waves, and can do majority of maneuvers without falling in, and bit of freestyle. I race quite a lot. I'm a half decent wing foiler. That's probably my sort of forte is wing foiling. Prone foiling, again, I'm pretty average. Like I can connect multiple waves, so I can pump out, and my turns are getting better. By no means am I anywhere near the pros, but yeah, like I'm a pretty competent prone foiler, and I did not find that journey easy, I have to be added. Like pumping for me took a while, just as a bit of a background. In terms of age, well, I'm 41, about 80 kilos. I'm not the fittest guy. Like I'm a pretty average fitness. I'm pretty determined. When I want to do something, I do it. But yeah, that's kind of my background really. But yeah, so it's almost, I want to say, like Joe Average. I want to see how like the Joe Average person can who can foil, can they actually achieve this by getting the right gear and giving it a go, and how long is that process? And that's the other thing that I was really interested in. So hopefully we will find the answers to this as we go along. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about why I've undertaken this challenge. So the first one really is I was sick of seeing these pros paddle up after 20 minutes of being on a stand-up paddleboard, because I just thought that was completely unrealistic, and it turns out it is completely unrealistic. Well, I certainly haven't been able to do it. As of right now, I'm on session 8, and I am nowhere near paddling up on flat water, just to put that into perspective. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, it is not taking me 20 minutes to paddle up onto a board and start pumping around. So I just want to put that into perspective. I have got onto foil, and we'll get onto that in a moment in different circumstances, but yeah, so I just kind of wanted to break that myth, which I have wholeheartedly broken due to my lack of talent. And really it was the challenge. Like, as I mentioned to you earlier, I found prone foiling really challenging. I've kind of felt like I've broken the back of that now, and I'm really enjoying it, and it's moving at a really good pace for me now, and I can get out in the water and spend a lot of time on foil, and it's great. And I really did enjoy that journey, and I want to do that again, and that's why I've decided to take this on board. I'm a very determined person, so what I lack in skill I make up for in determination, and so I've very much got my teeth into it now. Like, I'll be honest with you, I am not enjoying it. Like, it's not something I look forward to doing, but I do look forward to getting through the journey, and that's something that's quite interesting. Like, I do look forward to getting onto the water and trying to improve, and you do see massive jumps every time you go onto the water, which is really cool. And yeah, I just wanted to see what all the fuss was about, all the hype was about. Like, people are talking about it, and I've seen people do it, and I'm lucky that I live in an area where you can downwind foil, and there are really, really good spots for it. So I really want to give that a go. So that's the why. All right, let's move now onto the first few sessions. So session 1, now that was an interesting one. Session 1, as I said to you earlier, I have never done any type of paddling in my life, and at this stage, when I got onto the water, I had no idea what I was doing. I hadn't signed up to any classes or done any online research. I literally picked up a paddle, picked up the board, all the kit arrived, and I sort of guessed and all just jumped in and gave it a go. And I thought I'd do that for the first couple of sessions just to really find my feet and see what's going on. So I'm going to clip to that now, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, this is day 1, week 1 of downwind paddling. I have literally never done this before. Never stepped on a paddle board in my life, never paddled anywhere. Oh, we're going to figure it out. It's going to be a bit of a baptism of fire. I'm not even convinced I'm going to stand on this thing. I'm using the Amos 125 litre narrow, 20 inches wide, so not super, but the narrow side of things. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, let's see how we get on. So yeah, as you can see, it was a bit of baptism of fire. I had no idea what I was doing, a lot of falling over, a lot of frustration. And I have to say, like, after the first 3 sessions, the novelty really worn off at that point. It then stopped becoming, oh, this is an interesting new thing. It then became frustrating and a slog. All right. Okay, so I've just come in from another downwind paddle session. Well, basically it was just paddling. This is the 3rd session I've had, so I've basically done about 3 hours now, and I've got to say the novelty's kind of worn off a little bit. Oh, it's going to be a long journey. Like, I'm just about, so I've been out the first 2 sessions. I've been out in dead flat water, and I've been out to just about paddle straight now. Yeah, so today was the first one in sort of bumpy, wavy water. I say bumpy, it's just, there's a swell coming through and it's not flat water, and I was just so unstable. Like, at times it was all right, but occasionally I'm just falling off all the time. It just saps your energy. It's just demoralizing. Like, it's very humbling, that's for sure. Like, it's going to be a journey, but anyway, it's still good to get out. And like, I'm just committed to myself now. I'm just going to go out and paddle at least, like, once every other day, or once, if I can, every morning. Just get out and I just need to get that muscle memory of paddling straight. So a couple of times, like, there was one point where I nearly caught a wave, and my technique just completely went to pot, like, within about 5 seconds. So I just need to get that sorted out. Yeah, it's going to be a long road. All right, cheers. It feels, and it still does to right now, is it feels like I'm paddling in quicksand. Like, that's the best way to describe it, is that it doesn't feel smooth and effortless. It feels like I'm just dragging my sorry ass through quicksand in the water, and I'm not really making much progress, particularly in the flat water stuff. And after the 3rd session, that sort of feeling really crept in, and yeah, and that's where the point, I think, where you switch and you go, I've just got to just muscle through this, grip my teeth, and just put time on the water, and just hope that I get there. It is really worth pointing out that at this point I did then sign up to the Coach Casey classes, which is the online subscription, and that really helped. So it made me stop reinventing the wheel. And we say this in our lessons when we teach wingfoiling, is that there is no point in spending hours and hours trying to figure it out yourself when pros and other people have done it themselves, done all the hard work for you. So you might as well learn from them. So I signed up to that, and that has been a massive change. So I've seen the progression just go, and I reckon that's cut my time on the water by at least half, if not more. So I would highly recommend signing up to a course like Coach Casey if you want to carry on a journey like this. Now, don't get me wrong, like, that is not a golden ticket to getting you to paddle up straight away. You still have to put the hard work in and hours and hours and hours on the water, but it does save you a lot of time and distress. So that would be my advice. Let's fast forward now to a couple more sessions after I've had that advice and a little bit of research, and you can see, hopefully you can see there's a little bit of progression there. All right, so this is day number 4, so it's been the 4th hour. Back on flat water again now, so hopefully it'll be a bit easier. I just wanted to just see if I can just do some slapping and pumping up. That's the aim. See how we go. Yeah, not even close. Have a little break. Technique goes to pot as soon as I get any cadence going, and sunk in with my hand. Lots of excuses. Just poor technique, I think. Man. It's going to be a long ride, I think. Anyway, do some more. Okay, so a bit of an update of the journey so far. So I wasn't going to go out because I wasn't feeling too good, but made a massive achievement today. So I got up on foil for the first time using a stand-up paddleboard, obviously. So a bit of a cheat. I was using a wave, like it was a wave to get up, but I'm still counting that as a success. Now, one thing that I have changed is I've gone bigger. So I've now gone to a massive, like 1780 front wing. I went from 1400, then I went up to a 1480, and now I'm on a massive Big Mama. And I was a bit worried that like I was just gonna be uncontrollable, but actually it was fine. It was pretty good, and it pumps well as well. So I actually connected a wave. You know, just got up, pumped out to the next one, which is just yeah, a massive milestone really for me. So look, I know I'm miles away from being able to, not even getting close to paddling up in flat water. That's not happening anytime soon, but yeah, still a little win on session 7. So yeah, good little sesh. All right, cheers. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about flat water paddle ups versus waves. So I spend probably the majority of my time in flat water, and the reason for that is really just to get my bearings, to paddle straight, to get the technique, or try to get the technique dialed, and just really work on balance and what have you. And then I jumped in after probably about, I think it was about the 4th session, I then went into choppy waters again, just to get that balance sorted out. Not waves, just, you know, wind-blown chop in the ocean, to really, you know, push it a little bit and get used to that. And then I think on the 5th session I then went into waves and started paddling into waves, and actually that for me was a massive like relief. Like I actually got up onto foil for the first time in waves, in like these mushy waves. I got up, and I managed to pump out to the back and connect a wave, and really like that just was, it was kind of like the motivation that I needed to carry on going, because I was really in a bit of a rut at that point, not really going anywhere and getting a bit frustrated. So I would recommend jumping between the two. So don't stick to flat water. And a lot of the advice I've had is that yes, the flat water paddle up is really important, but I don't think it's the be all and end all. I think that you need to put your time in flat water and keep ticking away at that at the same time as going out into ocean swells, and jump between the two. And that's what I've been doing. So this afternoon I'm gonna have another go in flat water, just see if I can go up. And I don't spend too much time in the flat water now. I normally go out for like an hour max, and just use it as like a bit of exercise, a bit of training. But where the focus is very much in the ocean open water. So yeah, my progression is I'm going to spend a bit more time in the waves, and then once I am happy that I could paddle up in waves, then I might start thinking about going into the really strong wind, flat water paddle ups for actual downwinding. But I'm not there yet. But yeah, anyway, that's really the progression. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about gear, because I think that's really important in the learning process. So in terms of board, I'm using the Amos Shapes Sultan 7/8, and that is 20.5 wide, and it is 125 litres. And I think that's a good size. Like, some people have said that's a bit wide, sorry, a bit too narrow, but I find it quite comfortable. It took me a little while to get. I mean, I'm still falling, but it's not excessive. But I do find that board quite comfortable. And the great thing is I can wing it, and that's the other thing that I'll talk about probably in the next video. In terms of foil, I borrowed a Phantom 1480, and then now I'm using the Phantom 1780. It's a massive foil, but I am finding that is getting up in really slow, small conditions, and its stall speed's really low as well, which is helping. And the main thing is I can pump it. So on the back of that I've got the 250 fence stab, and I'm using a X short fuse. The mast is 75 full carbon, and again the reason for it being short is because I just want to minimize that drag. So I've gone for a 75, and that's the mast that I'd use for proning as well. And then the paddle, I've got a starboard standard paddle. I don't even know what the name of that paddle is, but it's pretty bog standard paddle. Nothing expensive. It is carbon. It's adjustable, and I've just figured out now the height. So I would recommend getting an adjustable to begin with. But one thing I will want to say about kit is that I've made a massive breakthrough in the last session, which I'm going to talk about in the next video, because of 2 bits of kit, and those 2 bits of kit have been critical. So yeah, that is going to be in the next video. Sorry for the suspense, but yeah, I really want to move that on to the next one I do on part 2. So in conclusion, is this an easy thing to do? No, it's not. I want to debunk the myth straight away that you can do it in 20 minutes. Joe Average is not going to paddle up a stand-up paddle with a foil and flat water in 20 minutes. Like, I just don't think it's achievable. Well, it's certainly not for me. I've been on this journey for 8 hours. I've been pretty determined doing it consistently, and I'm not close to doing it. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but it is something that has put in a lot of effort to get there. And yeah, so I want to debunk that myth straight away. It's hard, and I want to say also it's fucking shit. Like, it's not fun. There's no two ways about it. Like, you get a lot of I got a lot of enjoyment out of learning to wing. Proning was probably a similar experience where, like, the first bit's fun, and then it's just a grind. And I'm in the grind now. I'm in the hurt locker. I'm just using it as exercise. I'm just thinking to myself, right, I'm going to go out and do an hour, and this is my my workout for the day. And that's the way I'm thinking about it. And I'm just so determined to get to the end that I'm not going to give up. And I think that's the mindset you've got to have to get through this. Like, because it's not enjoyable. Like, it is hard work. Like, there's no two ways about it. You fall in a lot and it's frustrating. I'm not selling it, but I think, like, the end state is definitely worth it. And that sense of reward, like when I got up onto foil on that wave, honestly, it was like pure euphoria. Like, it was just such a moment of enjoyment that I remember getting, like, the first time I got up onto foil with wingfoiling and proning as well. So yeah, it's little like moments like that I think make it worth it. So I would recommend doing the journey, but just be aware that it is going to be a struggle. So after 8 sessions, I can paddle straight now. That took a surprisingly long time to get out, to get the muscle memory of being able to use the correct techniques. I can paddle onto waves, and I can connect waves now, so pumping out and connecting waves, which, you know, I'm really chuffed about. Like, maybe it's cheating, I don't know, but for me, I think that was a bit of a milestone, and it gave me a bit of motivation, as I mentioned. And flat water with the gear that I have been using up until hour 8, I was slapping the water, so I'm just there, but not quite. Like, I either run out of energy, skill, ability, you name it, but I'm not quite there. And I'm probably, you know, I'd say I'm probably another 8 sessions away maybe of being able to do it consistently. I don't know, we'll see. But am I close? I don't know. But yeah, I'm certainly not paddling up in flat water after 8 sessions. That's for sure. So anyway, that's it so far. That's after 8 sessions, 8 hours. It's going to be a long journey, and you know, I don't know how long it's going to take. It'll be interesting. Maybe a year. I don't know. Like, maybe we'll see. I'm going to do it as much as I can, as much as time will allow, and I'll keep you updated. So if you've got any questions, please reach out. Let me know. Hopefully you got something out of this, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Hopefully I make a bit of progress. All right.